Hey guys, welcome back. We're finally back in the fields. I feel like it's been forever, but this mower has been parked in this field for I think about 3 weeks now. 3 weeks since we've been waiting on a window. Rain every 3 days. We have a big dry spell here ahead of us, so we're gonna knock down this 20 acres, knock down another 9 acres after that, and maybe tomorrow another 36, or maybe 80, almost 90 acres possibly. We got 53, a 36. This 20 and a 9, a first cut to go yet, and we're done with first cutting. And then I'm going to mow my home field, the south 23 acres, the second cutting down once we get caught up and about done with first. That's kind of the plan. We got a big window of suit we get done. This stuff doesn't look too bad at all. Clover takes a while to really get too mature on you. It seems like it still puts on tons and grows a lot more. Well, alfalfa kind of once it starts blooming, you better get on it because the quality is just going to keep going down pretty quick. So this has been an odd spring, just like last year. A little different, but a lot the same too. So let's get this stuff knocked down. There's just so much material in the 19-foot head being fed through the same size crimpers you're going to see on say a 16 or maybe even a 13-foot mower. So I do notice you can hear the hydraulics bog down a little when you try to go a little too fast, and haven't plugged it yet in this field. I've only plugged this mower one time, but I think I ran through, some animal got stuck in the crimpers when that happened. But you can tell when it gets to be too much material, you can hear it bog down. You can see you're not mowing very well. I think essentially what's going on is the header speed slows down because too much material, so then it just doesn't mow very clean at all. So you kind of got to lift up, and then it'll just feed all the material through the crimpers and then back up, and you just kind of remow that spot. That only happened once, and I've just been keeping it under 7 mile an hour, and it seems to be doing all right. But this mower's got plenty of power for it. I just don't know if it's the hydraulics or what's going on. But all in all, we're still moving through acres pretty fast, so I'm not complaining. For the most part, pretty clean clover. I think it'll make some nice stuff. There's some weed patches here and there, but you'll have that. And see how this stuff goes and see what we can get done here this week and get it bailed up. pretty good. Man, look at this nice clover. It gets pretty weedy up here at the road, kind of where we're parked. There's some weed patches on the south end, but I think we got some nice stuff. We're gonna try and small square bale this. Nice fine stemmed, lots of leaf. It mowed really clean, look at that. I don't know if I need to ted it, but I think we're gonna, just in case. Clover can be a tricky thing to mow. I don't know. We might be able to get away with leaving it, but on the off chance we can't, I'd like to know it's gonna be dry and consistently dry. But who knows? I'll think it over. I got plenty of time to figure that out because it's mowed down and it's good and dry while we mowed it. The last field of clover it made, we did not ted it, and we baled some of the greenest, nicest, leafiest looking clover I've ever baled, but we had a lot of wind too. We have a lot of heat coming, but humidity too, so we'll mull it over and see what we want to do here. We got some time. And if you think this is bad, the next part of this drive is really gonna suck. We got to cross the river yet to get it to our next field, and then everything we have is north of the river except the field we just mowed and one other field we already mowed of clover earlier. This is just gonna be interesting, I can tell you that. Oh, this sucks. All right, guys, we're here at the alfalfa. Beautiful 9 acres. There's Coles. TSC, we're right here on the verge of town. So it's super fun coming down the highway with this thing, but nonetheless, we're here. Let's get her knocked out. Right, first things first, you push this throttle button 4 times. 1. All right, because if you don't have enough throttle, it will not engage PTO. PTO is spinning. We are setting our cut height as low as it'll go. We're trying to clean this up. It's starting to lay down. Now you just give her the beans, full throttle, and then you mow. This stuff's actually better looking than I expected. Row. We'll get out and take a look and see how this stuff looks. I never even got out of the cab yet, but it's mowing really clean, leaving a nice windrow, and might actually be looking nicer than what I was expecting. If only you guys could smell what I'm smelling. This smells great, but it's mature, late first cutting, because look at that. That's leaves we already lost. Some strip stems. Thought it was mowing really good. I think it is. Just this area was really laid down. I'm on the fence about small square baling it. I think we're gonna round bale this just to get it done. It's not super nice. I mean, what's nice is nice, but then what's not, I don't know. It gets a lot thinner as you get to the east end of the field. You can see this was all just laid down, matted, and just thick, really thick stuff. I mean, this whole area, you kind of get up to there and it thins out a lot more. This almost looked like it had regrowth coming in it. Like it, you know, it's not completely seeded out, but it is headed out all the way. But some of this, like right here, you see some of these. Right there, you see that, right there, or this right there. Because it was really weird. You could see stuff that was all headed out, and I'm like, oh, that's really, really mature. But it almost looked like it started regrowing, like there's a, I would call it the equivalent of second cut quality hay growing up just in this area. It was really weird. It's a greener part of the field like this. I can't make any sense. This whole field's just really inconsistent though. Sucks, I don't really want to ted stuff that's this mature, but I think to get it dry, we're gonna have to spread this out. And the other end of the field's a lot thinner. So we'll take a look at that and then head home. Well, tedder's hooked up, greased and ready to go. Just got the mower cleaned off, time to shut it down. I gotta go up and pick up the pork and the lamb. So we got 2 hogs to pick up today and a lamb we got butchered. So we'll do that quick after we eat some lunch, which is an hour late. And I suppose after we get that, I'm gonna go out and ted right away. So much for no rain today. See those little sprinkles coming on the mower there? I don't mind it, really don't. I mean, most times I probably wouldn't be a fan of it, but I need to ted the hay out. And that alfalfa, I think, could benefit from a little moisture. Keep some leaves on, I think. I think the maturity is why we're losing it. It's not that it's too dry. I just mowed it, but maybe a little bit will help retain some leaves when I do ted it out. So it's a little too thick, I think, to dry down in the windrows. So we'll see what we get out of this. I think it'll be just a light sprinkle, hardly enough to knock the dust out of the driveway, but maybe enough to help the hay. All right, trailer's hooked up. I hope I have enough truck to pull this little 5x8 trailer. I think it's got enough power. Don't let me pull it with that car. Let's go and look at what we got in here. Gotta unplug these yet. All right, so this is our milk cooler. My wife takes to the farmer's market. Let's see what she's got made. Oh, she got one thing made. This thing's gonna be full here by the end of the day. And then we got our freezer we just bought. So that's where all the meat will be going. And yeah, all right. Let's unplug this and get on the road. I think it's about a half-hour drive. We'll get that meat loaded up, paid for the butchering, and hop in that and go out and ted. It's already 2 o'clock, so the day's moving quick. Better get going. So this is the same river we crossed earlier today. This is a much shorter crossing here, but it's also about 8 or 10 miles east. And the field I had to do after the clover was like 3 miles west of there. So rather than add another hour driving with the mower, which I crossed this to get to the field in the first place because I was going southeast, I guess, to that 75 acres we did a few weeks back. But yeah. So yeah, this wasn't bad. I know when I came up this way to go mow that field, probably been 3 weeks ago now, someone did come on the bridge as I was about to cross, so they ended up seeing me and then they backed up back off the bridge. With that mower, is no joke. That thing's wide. You got to have all the room you can get. So, but I figured today, rather than add an extra hour and a half onto an already busy day, let's just push our way across right there. You know, and you figure an extra hour run time on a machine with whatever that is, 200, 250 horse. I don't know what it is, but I'd be surprised if you're burning anything under 6 or 8 gallon an hour. It might be as high as 10 gallon an hour, and right there's an extra $40 out of my pocket if I wanted to take the longer, maybe, I guess, easier way as far as traffic goes, that route. But you know, this puts doing it the way we did it put more time and more money in my pocket at the end of the day, and we didn't put anyone at harm. Everything went smoothly. So all in all, just glad we got across the bridge and got everything mowed. We'll get this meat picked up and see about going out and tedding, because we're getting a few sprinkles now, so nothing crazy. Well, just home from the butcher, and some good news, some bad news. No matter what, it's done. So no bacon on the hogs, not a big deal. Turned it into sausage. He said they weren't big enough to get bacon. They're a little lighter. He's not certified through the USDA to do bacon. Anyhow, so it's been for home use, which is fine. I like bacon, but I also like making money. So, you know, more sausage means more sellable meat. Hog number 1 came in at 154 pounds hanging weight, and the second hog at 179. I was hoping for 180 to 200. So we're definitely under on that. The lamb's hanging weight was 37 pounds. And there was not much to that lamb, I can tell you that. So, the bad, the lamb was bigger than I thought, but not much meat. And the hogs were smaller than I was hoping, and no bacon. The good means more sellable meat, and we're gonna go look at the quality, because this stuff is fantastic. That's the good. Way outweighs the bad. This stuff I'm impressed with. Let's see what we got. This right here, that's the entire lamb. This whole basket. It's not much. So we got ground lamb. Doesn't look bad. Pretty lean. Lamb chops. They're small, but you know, to carry that lamb much longer, do it at a separate butcher date. I just may as well get it done. May not make much on this. So that is what it is. Now let's look at these pork steaks. Holy crap, that is pork. What is this right here? Let's see what we got. That's a shoulder blade. Look at the marbling, look at the color. Let's see if this is another shoulder blade. Yeah, but I mean, look at that. See some pork chops? Look at these pork chops. I mean, the color, the marbling, the fat, I mean, you're not gonna find something like that in the grocery store. Now they're not super red, they're a little pink, but stuff at the grocery store is just white or pink, so this is way better than what you're gonna buy at the grocery store. Holy cow. Holy crap. What do we got? This looks like more of a rump. No, more shoulder. I don't know what I'm looking at here half the time. Loin chop, man. You ever seen a pork chop that nice? Alrighty guys, we're here in the alfalfa field. Let's get her going. Oh my. That'll dry down nice now. Man, this field's going really quick. You know, for a 33-foot tedder, 9 acres sure doesn't take a terribly long time at all. Now we're in the thinner area. You can kind of see there's still ground. You can see amongst the tedded stuff. That tells me it did not need tedded in this specific area. Now as you look straight ahead, you can see the darker indentations in the ground. That's that knotted up, thick, viney, just really, I know it needs tedded because that stuff, there's so much out there. And my thoughts are to lose a little bit of leaf, a little bit of color on some of the field is better than having bales that I need to sort out or may not be able to sort out because I missed it or something, and having wet hay and having customers get mad. I'd rather have some hay that some people can be like, well, it's maybe not the nicest, but I need some hay. I can store it in the barn and we can hold it well into winter where people may not be as picky, and then just sell it in the wintertime. But you bale wet hay, it's going to be a hard sell no matter what time of year it is. Some of the stemmier stuff, we baled some coarser hay last year, much worse than what this field is, and we still moved that in the winter because we had the drought. So see what I'm seeing here, just this stuff is thick. Same day we mowed it, I don't think we were even, I don't know when we pulled out of this field, about 12:30. It's not even 5 o'clock yet, so less than 5 hours after mowing, we're here tedding, and you can see it gets really thin in this area here. But you got to think about the worst spots of the fields and prepare for that, and just hope you're not overworking the thinner spots. But that, I mean, the thinner spots, if it's a little stemmy in the thin spots, I'd rather have that than wet in the thick spots because you have a lot more hay in the thick spots, obviously, than you do the thin. But I think this should still make some pretty nice stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do with it quite yet. It all depends how Sunday goes. I'll get this raked up Sunday probably. It just depends on how we want to do things, how things are drying down. We'll have to come out and check some stuff. I don't think I'll be small square baling it. That's not really the plan. I could be convinced otherwise if it looks really nice once I rake it, but who knows. So I think part of me was thinking to myself, well, maybe I just round bale it, be simple and easy, and if we can't get it picked up right away, oh well, right? We got other acres we need to get knocked out. At least getting something in a bale form and be picked up whenever. The big square bales can too. We have a good dry spell here. It's just we'll see what we want to do here. I don't know if it'd be big square baling this or round baling it. The big square baler, in theory, you know, should be ready to rock and roll and start baling hay again. And I don't want to have 3 different balers out and about all in the same day in 2 different fields. We're about maybe 6 or 8 miles away from the clover field we moved down to day 2. And I would say roughly 10 or 12, maybe 14 miles from home. The clover field's also like 12 or 14 miles from the house, and there's about 6, maybe 8 miles between the 2 fields. So I just kind of like both south and west of my house. Tomorrow we'll be going north. That's kind of the plan. But I don't want to have a ton of just tractors piled up down here that we have to shuffle. Where we got plenty of alfalfa to bale in the coming days. That maybe I just kind of pick one type of bale I want to go with and run it. And since I have a ton of round bales of clover already, and I have a fair amount of big squares of clover, but I just like how big squares store, and I think they'll be easier to market. So I'm leaning towards, we'll see how small square baling goes. I don't know if I'll put the big square baler in the field immediately and just have it there ready so I can hop right out of the white, hop into the Puma 140 and start big square baling. Or if it's one of those, we just start small square baling, see how much is there. If it's less than 1,500 bale, then maybe we small square bale the whole field, and then we just decide to just swing up here at the round baler and quick and do this. That's something that's kind of lingering in my mind. Or do we just be prepared so we're not wasting time on a baling day and just have the balers there ready to just start knocking the acres out and get it done and behind us? So those are some things I'm not sure what we're going to do once we move north into those alfalfa fields. We're going to be round baling, big square baling, vice versa, back and forth. There's another 53 acre field and then a 36-ish. It might be 40 acres. The ditches intersected, so it cuts it up. But I call it 36 to 38 acres, give or take. That's what we're going to mow tomorrow, is that 30 to 40 acre field, and then the 53 acre field will be maybe tomorrow, or maybe a couple days later. I haven't quite decided what I want to do with all that, timing wise. Because it's just not knowing how things are going to dry down. The last thing I want is everything drying down at the same time, because we're coming up, it's going to just slowly keep getting warmer and warmer. So this stuff isn't going to dry as rapidly as stuff mowed a few days later. And I don't want everything to be ready on the same day and have these acres further from home to really be holding something, because 53 acre field is maybe like 7 or 8 acres from home, and the 36 acre field is, I bet you that's at least maybe 12 to 14 miles from home. But both of those are to the north, and no more than maybe 6 miles between those two fields as well. So those are pretty close. Having those bigger fields down together in similar dry downs wouldn't necessarily be the end of it. But because we're working around town here and then going further north, I don't want to have so many back and forth yo-yos. I just want to kind of get mowed and raked, but I think I can get baled in one day here, so I can just finish everything in a day and then move the next morning to where we're going next and not be tied up. So the small squares, we're not going to small square bale anything until we get into more second cut after we do the clover. So that's all right to have wagons tied up, or the white with the small square baler on it tied up maybe for a little bit until we have time to haul some of that home, the equipment wise. But when it comes to the round baler and the big square baler, I kind of need those things available and ready to run. So we'll just kind of see how things go out. We got a good window here. We're going to take advantage of it. And as you can see, this little clip you saw me talking here, we got no more than maybe 10 minutes left in this field and we'll be done. And just look at how thick this stuff is here behind me. Definitely losing a little bit of leaf, but you're going to lose those leaves whether you rake it or tread it or whatever. It's just because it's that mature, the leaves are going to fall off. No matter how you handle it, no matter how quickly you handle it. I can be tight behind the mower. Leaves are falling off while you're mowing. So that's where I was like, if we get a little sprinkle on it, maybe we'll hold some of that on a little bit more. Like, we're not losing leaves in some of this stuff that's not quite as mature. And this is just really, really hard ground here. And there's so much variation in the yield across this field. 9 acres, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, we'll see how this stuff turns out. Now that's some nice looking alfalfa. Spread out nice. Only downside, we are losing leaves. I don't think we're losing much, but you can see it's just the plant's so mature. I think that's 99% of the issue we're doing here. We have good crimp. Let's see if we can get that to focus. See, there's one crimp, right there's the other. I'm not seeing the other. I think that might be it right there. But this stuff's probably going to get away from me, to be honest. I bet this could even go on Sunday. Well, here's something I couldn't do earlier today with the mower because of how wide it is. We're going to go through town to get to the next field. Save a few miles. Busy intersection today. Tell you one thing, this tedder makes quick work of stuff. I am just about halfway. This is my last row, and this put me at halfway done. So what I do is alternate every other, it's every 4 rows. I guess however you want to look at it, I do 2 rows at a time. when I get to the end, I skip 2, go on to the 2 after. So I'm alternating back and forth. So right now there's 2 to that side. That's the headland. I'll do that pass, 1 big circle to finish the field. So now I'll just probably skip 1, come back on this, and then just keep going and alternating back and forth all the skip rows. It's hard to tell from the angle we're at, but essentially that's what we're doing. So once I get to the end here, the field's half done except for the outside pass. But yeah, I think I figured one time, shoot, it's almost 30 acres an hour this thing can do if you really got a smooth field and get her going. I'm only going about 6.2 mile an hour right now, so still plenty fast. It seems to be getting her done. You know, it's only been a few minutes and you can see that whole area is just a sea of green. Beautiful. And I got 2 rows here. You can't really hardly see them because you can see the edge kind of like right there. When I TED, it spreads it out enough and it kind of overlaps so you can barely make out the 2 rows you're supposed to be going on. You can see there's just a mat of hay behind us, exactly what we want. You can kind of see the next section we're going to shoot for. So there was 2 rows there. We're going to be skipping those. Obviously they're already tedded, but we'll be going around that and then coming back down right there. I think I only got maybe 4 more passes at most and we'll be on the headlands.